Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the I almost said the New York Knicks podcast, The Brink of Sanity, episode 334.
That was the shittiest open. That was almost as shitty as our government's job of covering the coronavirus.
Really? You should ask
Too
my
soon?
family. You should ask my family. They all think he's doing an
It's
amazing
the Armageddon
job.
episode.
What's up, Jay?
I said you should ask my family. They all think he's doing an incredible job and has handled this amazingly.
You mean he's not?
Okay, so then there's the two sides of this. He's doing an incredible job, and maybe he's not. I'm gonna. I will debate this, Jay. I will debate that Trump is doing a great job.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play for devil's advocate. Tell me why he's not doing a job. I'll take the other side of this.
Okay. There's not enough tests and not enough medical supplies.
Everyone who wants a test gets a test.
No, I want a test.
How could there not be enough tests when every celebrity I keep seeing has been tested and seems to have it?
Everyone that wants one gets a test. It's all beautiful. Everything's going really well. Only Democrats get at this because they're heathens.
We are
Only happened in liberal states.
by tomorrow.
Yeah, you're glad you legalized abortion now, aren't you?
All right, you win.
When do we get into conspiracy theory time?
Oh, anytime you want. Hey, so I have a question for you. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys doing doing the Sodai?
The what?
The hell, soda?
Sodai. I've been doing
What's that?
Sodai. Have you guys not Sodaing?
I'm trying to die.
Are you trying to be hip, Mark?
How is it? It's been this long and we're still saying social distancing. Everyone's like, are you going to do the social distance thing? We got a social distance. How we are the society that created Brangelina. How are we not already combining these two words?
I don't like
I think because die's in it, and that's probably not a good word to have during a pandemic.
it. Also, shouldn't it be so deep?
We're
Because
we're
it's distancing.
so- Yeah, so dig.
You
So
don't say-
die is
you-
how we're all gonna so die.
You don't say
But,
distancing.
Yeah.
So die hits too close to home. So Sodi, yeah. So yeah, Sodi. How can we make this happen, Sodi? Sodi.
I suppose there's dumber trends out there, like the actual idea of social distancing.
We are
At
gonna be
my work, they're getting carried away. They like rearranged the whole office. They moved people around and I've just been laughing for 3 days at the stupid things. There's one lady now. There's one woman in my office, the office manager, who's like the biggest Republican, like pro-Trump person. You would think she would be like, "Oh, this is stupid. This is a hoax," but she's like completely like she's wearing gloves around the office. She actually put hand sanitizer on her gloves the other day after she touched the machine.
So I have a question for you, Bri.
Yeah.
If you can let your office know, I have a good idea for social distancing or Sodi for your
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck home. Why are you going to the office still?
Well, we had a scare yesterday. Our useless receptionist who calls out. The first sign, so she called out sick yesterday, and she hasn't had anything to do this week because we've locked the doors and we don't let any clients in all week. We put a big sign up on the door and we won't let anybody in. So she's had nothing to do all week, and she called out sick yesterday. Now, normally she calls out sick on either Mondays or Fridays because she likes her long weekends, and everybody knows, and it's a running joke, and the only person who seems annoyed by it is me. But anyway, so she called out yesterday, and I kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, what took her so long? What took her till Thursday? At the end of the day, I'm walking out yesterday, and somebody says, oh, by the way, yeah, she just called in again to give us an update, and she has a fever. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, good. So we all have it thanks to her. So I come in this morning, and I was like, so what's the latest? And they said, oh, well, she doesn't have a fever anymore. It turns out she doesn't even have a thermometer.
So what did she?
So I'm like, okay, well, she fooled me because she didn't call out on Friday, so I just assumed she was really sick. And they're like, well, yeah, I guess she's okay, and she probably doesn't have it, so I guess we're all okay. At least with her.
So I have a question. So if she doesn't have it, so she's useless. If she was diagnosed with having it, you'd say our beloved secretary.
Oh, I'd be pissed if
Yeah, but you got to preparing for her obituary.
I'd be pissed if she was the reason I got it. Like I know I'm gonna get it. I'd just be pissed if it was because of her.
I just find it insane that you're still in the office.
Yeah, why the fuck are you still? By the way, I think you're not in the office anymore. Doesn't Connecticut shutting down also?
Well, yeah.
Are you an essential worker going to be bookkeeping for your job?
Actually,
I really
am.
need this.
Actually, it's a funny story. Actually, I'm actually the Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the office in that I make the office go round, and if anything happens to me, the whole office is fucked. We actually had an open space meeting yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it must have been yesterday.
What is the background noise here?
Oh, it's my stupid microphone. I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Even in a time of national crisis or international crisis, you can't get this microphone fixed.
It's my stupid microphone. It doesn't stay up. So now it just fell. Do I sound farther away or?
That sounds fine. It just sounds like you're wrestling with it. The whole time you're like, it's like you're in the woods telling us this. Like you're literally running from the coronavirus.
I was trying to hold the microphone up because it keeps falling. But all right, so I'll just leave it then. All right, so we had like an open space meeting yesterday, and one of the people in charge was basically trying to lay everything out, and he was like, we're probably gonna have to start kind of alternating because we have 20 people in the office. So like they're saying, groups of 10 or whatever. So they're like, well, maybe we'll start doing, some people work from home in the morning. Some people work from home in the afternoon, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, basically we want to try to stay open as long as possible because as long as we have money coming in, like from getting the mail and getting our checks and our fees and everything, we continue to stay open and continue to operate. If we have to shut down completely, we could probably we could pay you guys for 2 weeks probably. And then that's it. And then we're all pretty much fucked. So everybody kind of looked at me to be like, okay, well, you're the one who has to come in and do all the checks and make sure we're still getting money.
But yeah, why don't 19 of you stay home and one guy, maybe you, go in and get the mail every week?
Well, I think that's what's going to happen we need 2 people in the office because I can't sign the check. So that's another story. But any event, and so all afternoon, everybody was watching the governor talk, and he was kind of like, he didn't really order it, but he was kind of like, I'd really like it if you guys, nobody would come in or, businesses shut down and everything. So we were all kind of like, well, he didn't order us to. And he said he's not going to fine people for going into work, but he'll fine businesses for being open that aren't supposed to open. So when I walked out the door, everybody was kind of like, all right, well, we'll see you guys. Everybody see each other Monday. So I think we're kind of still planning to go in.
Well, first of all, why do 2 people need to go in? Why does the one person who could sign the check go in, or just get a stamp that says for deposit only?
Why aren't you revolting?
I can deposit the checks. It's the checks that we send out to our clients that.
Fuck your clients.
Well, exactly.
They're like, where's my money? I don't know. Corona ate it.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather go in than just sit around and like. So they kind of also gave us like this way to remote into our computers and stuff, but there's not a whole lot we could do from home without like actual paperwork, like stuff that comes in, faxes, mail, stuff like that people are working on all day. So it's like, I don't really know what we're going to do. So, I mean, I'm going to be bored out of my mind Monday morning if I'm not working or if I'm quote unquote working from home.
You can't do your job from home.
Because I need the mail because I need like the checks that come in to work on.
Oh.
I can go get if the problem is our mail never comes at the same time. If I knew when the mail was coming, I could go to because I live the closest to the office. I'm 10 minutes away. I could go get the mail and then come home and work on all this stuff. But I just would have to sit around waiting for the guy to come. But if they ever shut the mail down, then there's no point to doing anything.
It seems reasonable. I mean, I don't think the mail will be shut down, but it seems like reasonable. Like if one of you or I guess 2 of you go to the office, that's better than 20 of you going to the office.
Right. Yeah. And it's so funny because all these idiots were walking around the office today like the governor of New York just shut down the state. We're going to be next. And you could hear the glee in their voice that like, all right, we're going to be shut down. We're not going to have to work. And it's like, hey, assholes, if we don't work, we're not going to get paid. Didn't you hear what they said yesterday? They think it's going to be this all right, we don't have to work. Like it's a party. And it's first of all, it's not because there's nothing else to do. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go to a bar. There's no sports. There's no TV shows. So it's I don't know why everybody's so excited to be confined to their homes.
But Brian, even if your company goes out of business, the government's going to send them $1,000 check. So they're good for the rest of the time. They can probably retire with that $1,000 check.
That's true.
Did Andrew Yang win the presidency, by the way?
He must be like, "Are you kidding me? You're just using all my
It's
ideas."
amazing. Like, everybody mocks Bernie, everybody mocks him, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, Trump's like, well, I'll give you guys $1,000, and everyone's like, oh, that's a great idea. How come nobody thought of that?
I mean, the best ideas right now are Andrew Yang's $1,000 to everyone. And really, if we could nationalize healthcare right now to get through this thing, we'd probably all be better off.
Yeah.
But
And
Americans are
we'll
so
buy up some of these failing businesses.
Americans are so stupid that as soon as this is over, they're gonna be like, "No, socialism sucks again."
Yeah. They'll be like, okay, let's go back to us all getting fucked, basically, from the system.
But it's all a big bait and switch anyway, because Trump's only giving out, if he even does it, giving out this $1,000, so everybody will piss their pants and get all excited that they're getting $1,000, so that he can turn around and give all the airlines and the casinos like trillions of dollars to get them going and just rack up the debt some more.
He also
And
capped
And then he
it.
could be like, well, hey, wait a minute, you took your $1,000, why shouldn't I bail out these people?
None of this shit's gonna work. What you should do basically is every person without a job who wants a job, just hire everyone. Just have them do anything. Just be like, you're like, my company's not paying me, or here, you got a job with the government. What do I do? Stay the fuck home. That's what you do.
But it's
Okay.
amazing now, like the whole country is like being held hostage by like minimum wage grocery store workers who are like stocking shelves to put toilet paper on there.
It is funny also, we're all going this SODI or social distancing, yet we're all like reaching for the same toilet paper, basically. We're all fighting for the food at the supermarket. Not fighting.
Like a year ago at this time, the Stop and Shop, the big grocery store, like in New England area, there was like a big strike, and everyone's like, "Oh, don't give them any money," blah blah. Now it's like we need these people.
Currently, the heroes to America are doctors, makes sense, and grocery store clerks.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it. Those are the two people that are saving everyone's lives.
pretty much.
Do you guys want to do? We made a top 5 list of the benefits, everything that's good about the coronavirus. You guys
Okay.
make your top 5 list?
Yep.
Sure.
Cool.
No, I did.
Okay. I know. We all have work. We all have more time on our side. By the way, Jay, you've been working from home, right?
Yeah.
How busy have you been?
I've been pretty busy. My bosses decided that they want to up the micromanaging 10,000%.
When you're home, it's worse.
It's worse. They want us to send emails halfway through the day of what we were working on and
God.
what we did and what we're gonna do, and then they have a 4:00 like webcam meeting, and we have to like again tell what we did, and throughout the day they're like pinging me. Only like they don't understand how technology works. So like if they email me something, then they'll IM me to tell me they emailed me. And sometimes they'll get a call to tell me about the IM and then the email. It's insane.
Right.
So Jay, can you do 100% of your work from remotely?
Apparently I could. We've been talking about this for years and like, no, we can't. And then this happened and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, look, your whole job is now online.
Bri, I got a podcast recommendation for you, Bri.
Yeah.
It's called Work From Home Hates Jay.
Black
Yep.
mold.
No matter where Jay goes, work hates Jay.
Jay somehow still late for work in the morning.
They're like, Jay, where were you? The fuck? I'm here at my desk. We start earlier now. We're taking back the commute, basically.
So then the other thing that's going on now, like, because now, so they gave out this, like, instructions on how to work remotely or whatever, right? Now, I've never done it, but I know it exists, and I know sort of the basic concept of it. But everyone else in my, like, all the staff in the office, they're so stupid and they don't understand anything. They're asking me like a million questions. They're like, so we have to take our tower home? And I'm like, no. And then they're like, well, how can I do this? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never used it. I'm like, just log on. And the idea is you're going to be on your computer like if you were sitting your ass right here. And then they're asking me like a million questions. And I'm like, I don't know the answer. So Monday, if we are from home, I'm going to get a million phone calls from all these people like with the stupidest questions of like, well, like, what's my password? I'm like, I don't know. Your normal password.
I'm shocked you guys have never used it.
The lawyers use it.
Okay.
I've been trying to, and here's the other. There's a lot going on in my office lately. The girl, I'm like I said, I'm probably one of the 2 or 3 most indispensable people in the office. I've been told so by the people in charge. Like the office can't run like without me if something happens to me. Which
Brian,
I kind
Brian,
of
hang on. I got a secret to you. At everyone's review at your company, they tell everyone that.
no.
I know you're just the receptionist, but
no.
the office
So
could
this
not run without you.
so
Please
no
stop
so
taking
the
Mondays
office
off.
really can't do it because 90% of my job nobody else knows how to do my job, like how to do any of it. All right, so there's three of us pretty much that are indispensable in different areas of the office. Well, one of those people just had a baby and she's out for 12 weeks now on maternity leave. So I get stuck with probably 80% of her work, which is better than I thought because I thought I was getting 100% of her work. But the upside is I am bulletproof at the office. Short of like stabbing someone, I pretty much can do anything I want and not get fired. Like I could just do anything. I could mouth off. I could say anything I want to anybody. I could refuse to do anything because I'm like double indispensable now. So anyway, so the girl who had the baby who's out is usually the person who handles all the computer stuff and all that stuff. So all that stuff fell in my lap while she's been out, and now naturally we're having a pandemic, so I have to deal with all of it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The
So that's probably why I'm not sleeping because I'm so stressed out from all this shit at work.
I've generally been stressed or anxious about everything, but I've still been sleeping. Jay, you been sleeping?
I wake up at like 3, and then I could fall back asleep like around 4:30.
That's about low. Yeah, I wake up about like between like 2:30 and 3, and I'm awake for like an hour, and then I, to like 4, and then I'll fall asleep to like 5.
Are you? Is it? Do you think it's because of like the coronavirus you're not sleeping, the stress related to that, or just generally just shitty sleep?
I think it's general stress and general shitty sleep. I don't think I'm really that stressed out about the corona.
Okay, Jay.
I mean, I think I'm super stressed out about my job, and I'm also super stressed out about the coronavirus.
But at least, Jay, at least the your job search should go well now that employment's being eliminated from America.
Oh my God. It's like I was so close. I was getting so many interviews, and I was like, I was getting closer each time, and now it's like nobody's hiring ever.
Yeah, the only thing that could go wrong, I mean, this economy is so amazing. The only thing that could go wrong is maybe an international pandemic that kills off part of our society.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that'll be the only thing that'll stop me from getting out of here.
I have a question for you. So I have a question. Do you want to hear my situation?
Sure.
So I have a nanny situation again.
Uh-oh.
So tell me what you guys would do. We have our nanny coming, and because we're both trying to work from home, and it's kind of hard to work from home without the nanny there. And our kids are home now, and we're doing like homeschool in the morning, but we need a nanny anyway. So the nanny has a death in her family. She goes to
Fire her.
What did you say?
Fire her.
Fire. Someone died. Get the fuck out of here. We don't allow death in our house.
Your career died.
Move before she comes back.
So she tells me this, and she says like, "Hey, I'm like we always get together when someone passed away in my family." So the woman was like that died was an older woman, and we always get together. She's like, I'm thinking about not doing it because I'm worried about this. I'm like, well, it probably sounds like the correct idea not to like get no gatherings right now. Seems like a bad idea.
Did she go to like China and have a big party, or?
So she goes to I think it was the person who goes. She goes to like her sister.
Okay.
She goes in. And it's also, but they didn't even know if the woman, the older woman that died, the great aunt or something like that, they didn't know if there was questions whether she died of the coronavirus. No one was really sure. But anyway, so she's not going to see anyone she's not going to that apartment. She's going to see other members of her family, which may or may or not have interacted with this woman that died.
Okay.
But she walks in, gives her 3-year-old nephew a hug. Her 3-year-old nephew's like cranky as hell, and she's like, "What happened? What's going on?" Her sister's like, "Oh, he's got like a fever. He's a little sick." She invited
a little
people
fever.
During this time, she invited her family over with her son has a fever. Does that seem like a good idea?
If by good you mean terrible, then yes.
So she texts us in the morning and goes, so she tells us the situation, and she's like, "But once I found out he had a fever, I left the house immediately, went home, washed my clothes, washed my hands. So what do you guys want me to do?"
She'll probably get a test before Jay.
Yes, of course. Jay's long-term living girlfriend is a nurse, and apparently she could not get tested because even during coronavirus, our country does not care about their nurses.
Oh, I have more, by the way.
Okay, we can go to that step. But tell me, okay, what would you guys do? So this happened to us. This was I guess we found out about this Thursday morning. Tell me what you would do.
So die.
So die.
Tell her not to come back. So die.
Do you need a nanny now that you're home?
Well, realistically, we both cannot work at the same time with the kids. There's no one.
How
want
out
your
of control are
kids to get
your
sick and
kids, by the
die?
way?
Well, realistically, like my job's slow. I do it in recruiting. There's not a lot of jobs anyway. My job's not exactly busy, but I do need to work to try to get busy. But really, like, there's no way for us. We both cannot work and have the kids. Even if you put the kids on the iPads, they'll just stop and they'll scream for us. We have to interact with them.
You
Can't
know,
you
like
just
how they have to
be-
go to bed, Jay, before the show.
And we also want to do homes. We also want to school them. We need help basically to be able to work right now. So we definitely need childcare to make like work from home work out for us. So what do you do?
Can you get a nanny from 7 to 8 p.m. so we could do the show earlier?
I'll look into that, Jay.
Just change.
Maybe we get our listeners to chip in.
Just shift the hours a little bit.
Yeah.
How much is a nanny? Yeah, maybe we could use some Patreon money and get you a nanny so we could do shows. I mean, Brian and I would be a lot more awake. The shows would probably be better.
If our Patreon money could cover that, we'd be doing pretty well as a show.
Well, how much per hour?
I don't want to do it. I don't want to discuss that on the show. But so what would you do? And we pay her a flat salary actually, including she gets sick days, vacation. We're a good family. What do you do in this situation?
Mm,
We're going back and I'm asking for advice.
how long
And
has
even
it
though I've
been?
How long's what been?
Since
Like, what
her
are your
whole-
options? Like, what are you considering? Like firing her, keeping her away, or keeping her on?
Well, I'm asking what you do. So we've had her with her family for 2 years. Our kids love her. She's like does a good job. But we just found out she hugged her 3-year-old nephew who had a fever. That's
Yeah,
all
how
we
many
know.
how many days ago?
She hugged him Wednesday night after she left her house and texts us Thursday morning.
Okay, so that was Wednesday.
So yeah, I mean we've already made a decision, Jay. I'm asking you guys what you would do.
Monday would be 5 days. If she doesn't have any symptoms within 5 days, I think you're good.
I think they say it's a 2-week incubation period.
I think if your kids get sick, they'll be in bed earlier and we could do the show earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was going to invite her over, like, get them the coronavirus. Let's get this over with.
I'm definitely willing to put your kids' health at risk to do the show earlier.
I was talking to someone in her 20s. She said she has friends who are going out to party because they want to get the coronavirus now while there's still space in the hospitals. So they're actively trying to get it.
Like a chickenpox party.
This is how fucking stupid people are. And that's why Cuomo and fucking Trump needs to lock down our fucking nation because these people are fucking. You cannot count on people. You cannot count on American citizens to do the right thing, especially people in their 20s.
No, and especially if it involves any sort of sacrifice or giving up. You know, I'm an American. Why should I have to live like a caveman in my house with my family?
I totally get this is the big problem, but can we worry about it after I do this keg stand and when spring break is over? So fuck you.
I just
What do you
checked
guys-
our Patreon. We're pulling in $8 a month, so
That could be like a half hour. Right?
I'm gonna say it costs more than that.
Okay.
So what do you guys do?
I'm just throwing that out there. Patreon.com/thebrinkofsanity. If we get up to whatever Mark pays his nanny, Mark's still not going to do this, is he?
Probably not.
There's no way I'm gonna take family time away from my kids to talk to you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm
Not
not.
when they've been affected by a sick nanny, Jay, and their time on this earth is short now.
First of all, she was not at our house since she basically. Well, I guess I haven't told you what happened yet. But she went to go see the family. So like, she leaves us, goes to see the sick kid, and then like is asking us whether she should come in that morning. We both have work to do. What do we do?
I would tell her to stay away till next week.
Jay?
Yeah, I'd give her a week off. You fired her.
So we basically told her you have to self-quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. We will pay you, and then if you're better, you can come back. And if you're not better, well,
We'll have you killed.
We're getting someone new. Nothing else we can do. So if she turns up positive, she also loses her job, which I feel fucking terrible about. But there's nothing. I don't know what we can do about this.
Especially if she gets tested before Jay.
She definitely will get tested before Jay.
Jay, what if you like go somewhere and just say like you're an immigrant?
Oh, well,
Jay,
that's getting to my next part. Okay, so
Okay.
Am I an asshole?
No, I think that's a responsible thing to do.
yeah, no, that's fair. You're an
I
asshole
think-
for not figuring out a way to do the show at 7, but
Yeah, that's true. I think in this story, the bad guy is her sister for inviting people over when her son has a fever.
Yes.
yeah, no, definitely, that's just dumb. So I work for like a mega corporation, and
Mega corporation.
we only got notice to work from home this week. So I logged off around 5:10 today.
I'd
PM.
like to say, I'm not going to say who your company is you work for. I'm not going to blow your spot. But your company was involved in crashing the economy last time in 2008.
Yeah,
And this time they're like, everyone come to work. Okay, fine, they can stay home.
well, no, they let us work from home this week. And
I know, but like people, the NBA did it last week.
last week they only did Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, was NBA last week? Was that last week?
Yeah.
I mean, time is passing so fast.
I don't know. It could have been 2 weeks. I have no idea
It
anymore.
could have been 100 years ago. But anyway, the NBA went work from home before your asshole company went work from home.
Yeah. So we had no idea what's going on next week. I log off at 5:10. Apparently, one of my coworkers who was still working at 5:15 said they sent out an email saying that we can work from home for the whole month. But they waited until Friday at 5:15 p.m. to tell us that starting on Monday. Like, what's the logic in that?
I also like.
Wait.
Go.
Also, at 5:20, they sent out an email that said, by the way, somebody in your company got tested positive for coronavirus
Holy shit!
It's definitely you.
and was working until the 12th. And
Oh my god!
so all this important information came out Friday after everyone logged off.
Hang on, this is last Friday. So someone tested positive on the 12th.
Wait, that was last Friday or today?
the last Friday.
The 12th
12th?
was Thursday.
So your company's logic was somebody tested positive on the 12th. Everyone come in on the 13th.
Well, they didn't find out until apparently today. And my
When?
last day was
Wait, the company didn't find out till the 13th, or
well, the email
when-
went out
when did-
today, so I think the company didn't find
Oh.
out till today.
oh, okay. I thought you were saying the company was like, go to fuck to work, and then they're like, oh, you guys can go home now that you all have it.
No.
Jay's like,
If you already have it, then you might as well just stay at work. That's what I keep saying. Everyone's like, why don't we go home? I'm like, well, if we have it, we have it. What's the difference? We might as well just work.
Jay's like, this is a weird company activity. We're all gonna we're all gonna lick each other. Yeah.
Yeah, so between that and my living situation, I've had a sore throat all week. So I'm half hoping that I do have it, and a sore throat is all I have, is like the only symptoms I get. Because some people hardly get any symptoms.
Right.
So I want to point out. So Jay said we were supposed to do the show last night, and Jay said we couldn't do it last night. Could we do it tonight instead? Which is totally fine. He said because his girlfriend's a nurse. She's basically dealing with coronavirus right now, or just like treating with patients. And because of that, Jay has asked her. She sleeps in the living room. He sleeps in the bedroom. And the living room and the podcast room are too close together, so it would be hard to do the show and not disturb her sleep, which is a fine thing, a nice thing to do. You don't want to disturb your girlfriend's sleep. What I don't understand, Jay, is how her sleeping in the living room, you sleeping in the bedroom, would in any way prevent you from getting this virus.
I don't know. We're doing what we can. What can I do? I mean, they say stay 6 feet away, and that's more than 6 feet away. That's all I got.
In the there is no way fathomable for her to have it and you not to get it, unless she moves out.
Well, that makes me feel much better.
I'm just saying, the rule number one: don't live with someone that has coronavirus. Which, not saying you guys shouldn't live together. I'm just saying you're fucked. You guys are living together. Just sleep in the same bed. Just stop pretending you're not going to get it.
I'm not going to bring that up.
Honey, why don't you just come back to? Why don't we just you come back from the hospital? Don't even wash your hands. Don't take a shower. Let's just get right on. Let's get it on, because might as well enjoy myself while I get it.
Well, like I said, between work and this situation, it's pretty much a done deal.
Top 5 reasons that the coronavirus. By the way, just a funny side note: you guys have followed the stock market a little bit recently.
I was until I realized that everything I put in over the last 3 years is just gone now. So now it went the way of crypto.
I was gonna say actually, the stock market's actually a worse investment than crypto at this point. It's a complete disaster.
Yeah.
So there are some companies that are doing well. Not that many. Any ideas of companies that are doing really well right now?
I read one. I read
What?
that Uber is doing well because they said they have enough money to just ride it out.
Uber's because who the fuck's thinking a cab now? Who's like I want some random stranger to like get me sick in the car.
Right, a random stranger who rode around another random stranger right before me.
Yeah, I mean, like Uber drivers are basically like, what's your role? I'm an Uber driver / I infect other people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so do you guys know the company Zoom?
Yeah.
Right, you know
Is
that
that the
company?
job search one?
No. So basically, Zoom is a
I've heard of it.
it's a video chat software that's become really popular, and it's very, you can do personal, business, but apparently it's a very it's like Skype, I guess, like to a certain extent, like, but a very, very good video chat software. And apparently now that everyone's working from home, it's being used like tons of companies are using this, and tons of people are using it, and apparently it's blowing up. So the stock is doing really well, and the stock, I guess they got their initial public offering wasn't that long ago. So the funny thing about Zoom is that when you look for the ticker symbol, you look for the company name is Zoom, so you look for Zoom, right?
Yeah.
And so another company comes up called Zoom Technologies with the ticker symbol ZOOM. It's completely unrelated. Zoom, the company that's actually doing well, is ZM. Zoom Technologies is some like shit company that was not doing much business. Its stock has blown up because people don't know which stock to buy.
That's
so
funny.
Everyone's looking for the wrong stock. This stock, Zoom Technologies, again, the company is not making any money. They're basically doing shit right now. Their stock went up 100% today at one point.
Oh my God.
The stock is blowing up over utter fucking confusion.
Yeah, our video conferences where they just berate us for 15 minutes every day, that's through Zoom.
Oh, okay. So Zoom is improving your life, Jay. Zoom is one of the things that you're like, on the working from home hates Jay podcast. That's also doesn't roll off the tongue, but WF home hates Jay podcast. I can't get that. But anyway,
we'll have to work on that. Yeah.
Okay, you'll have an episode on Zoom and how wonderful the technology is to allow your bosses to reach out and make your life miserable at home.
Yeah. Now they could see my apartment while they yell at me. That's nice.
Hey Jay, why don't you clean the fuck up? I'm sorry, what? Your apartment looks like shit. Well, this is what I can afford on the salary you pay me. Well, you suck, Jay. Thank you. Okay, let's go to top five.
Are you sure you don't have any more tangents before we start this?
I'm never gonna get to this top five.
Mark started this at 10 minutes into the episode. We're at 33 minutes into the episode.
By the way, I got a website for you guys. I got a job. I got an idea.
Another tangent.
Here's the website we should buy right now. www.famouspeoplewithcovid19.com.
Well, that's a good segue because I have a question about that.
Wouldn't that be a great website? People would go there all the time.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Do you? This is a question / conspiracy theory. Do you think all these celebrities really have it, or do you think they're saying they have it because, and then showing that they have no symptoms to try to just get people to calm down? Be like, well, it's not the end of the world because like Andy Cohen has it and Tom Hanks have it and they seem to be fine, so I shouldn't freak out if I get it.
I just think it's
actually Kevin Durant died tonight.
It's because it seems really fishy that all these celebrities are popping up with it, like Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints, and half the NBA.
I'd like to. It does kill a very small percentage of people. I mean, like it's still good. Like if everyone gets it, it's going to be a ton of people that die. But like it does kill a very small percent. So we've only heard about like 30 celebrities that get it. So it's not going to be.
I just think it's that widespread that all those people have it, but they get free immediate testing because they're famous.
I think the test. So even Trump was like, when they asked Trump about that, he was like, "Yeah, rich people get things before other people. What's new?"
Yeah, he said it is what it is. He literally said that.
I mean, Trump has it. I mean, we all know he has it, but they can't. Even like he said he got tested and he's negative. They can't say he has it because it'll cause a panic. If people are like, oh my God, the president has it. So like they have to lie and say he doesn't have it.
There's
I
no
mean, if
panic
he
going
had
on
it,
right
he
now.
would be on a ventilator still saying, "I don't have it."
You know
That's
what the
fake
thing
news.
is? If he had it, if he announced he had it, the stock market would go up. They'd be like, Pence is in charge. Sounds better.
No, but I mean, it would be like a national security thing if he announced that he had it. Like, because
So
they can't let other countries know that our leader has, our quote unquote leader has, the pandemic.
I have a conspiracy theory in a different way, though. I think the reason the rich people can get the test, or the reason the celebrities can get the test, is they want people who are celebrities to announce they have it, so everyone takes this shit seriously.
I think it's just a reflection on our society. That this is really the way it is, and it just became really apparent.
Yeah, I mean it's always apparent. It's always a fucking.
But I
apparent.
think it's blatantly apparent now, where they're like, "Oh yeah, I wasn't showing any symptoms, but I just wanted the check for funsies," and they said okay.
They're like, we just don't have enough tests. We cannot test everyone. Oh, where are all the tests? They're testing the Western Conference of the NBA.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile,
It's like the whole NBA has it.
right. Meanwhile, they're like,
Who else
we want to
got
get
this now?
tested, and they're like, well, what are your symptoms? You're like, I have a fever and a cough. They're like, you have a fever and a cough, but is your left ear itchy? And you're like, no. We're like, well, sorry, you don't have all the symptoms.
I'm sorry, are you rich? No.
Is Kevin Durant annoyed because people said Tom Hanks had it? They were like, holy shit. They're like, Kevin Durant's like, I've got it. And people are like, that's cool. It's not as big a deal that Durant had. It's mostly like Tom Hanks had it, and people were like, oh my God, we're really going to die. Kevin Durant got it, and people are like, let's make jokes about the Nets signings.
I mean, it's the same as career, though. Like, every time he does something, they're like, yeah, but, LeBron's still here.
I heard LeBron is trying to get it just so, like, he can so he can get some of the spotlight.
Just so he
LeBron's
can have another excuse to win MVP.
Well, I was going to say, if LeBron gets it, he'll just say, I'm going to beat this for Kobe.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He actually said that, Durant, if you die, I'll do it for you also. I'll win for you also.
Yeah, somebody at work said there was a meme going around or something that said like, oh, Kevin Durant heard coronavirus is winning, so he got it. Something like that.
So he had to join the team.
Yeah.
So one more tangent before we go. The
Go.
Because of all this social distancing.
We've got another hour to go, Jay.
Because of all this social distancing, a huge trend, especially in Japan, has been to go online with a video chat and drink together.
That sounds. Actually, a neighbor told me he had a happy hour just like that via Zoom, where everyone got together and had drinks via the video conferencing. And he said actually at first it was a little awkward, then it got really fun.
If you listened to the show 8 years ago, we were trying to launch a website, 24-hour happy hour, which was exactly that idea.
So, Jay, we should have just launched during a plague.
Yeah,
or we should have trademarked it.
We should just add that to the list of ideas we had where we would have been filthy rich if the dice had rolled a little bit differently.
Drink from home would have been huge. We could still launch Drink from Home, Jay. Do you know how to do any of the technology?
That's the problem. We needed backers and funders, and we had a listener who actually had those connections, and he did a pitch meeting, and he made like a really serious presentation, and the company did not go for it. So we actually got to the presentation stage with it. Me and him worked. We planned out like all the features and everything, and we didn't get funding for it, so the site never launched, and now it's a huge phenomenon. So that's cool.
They say the two trends they think are going to take off the most in the next year and a half while we're all quarantined are the drink from home thing, and brunchaholics.
and every comedy podcast except ours.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do the top 5 benefits of coronavirus before we never get there.
All right. So my first one is a serious one.
Oh, fuck you.
I just did one. I did one serious one.
Some of my serious. I'm joking with everything. Everything. This is all a joke. There's no real benefits of the coronavirus unless Trump gets it.
Well, no.
Just kidding. No. We're all just the entire. If anyone gets offended by this show, well, if you're offended, you would never be listening to our show.
That's true.
But generally speaking, we're all just joking about stuff. But go.
So the actual environment. I don't know if you saw in Italy.
Oh, fuck! I can't believe that's one of mine.
I don't know if you saw in Italy, like Venice is like the water's clear again.
Yeah, they said over China, like you could see from the space the air clearing up. There was I was listening to this podcast where they were talking about this phenomenon in China, and they said based on the reduction in pollution, they will probably save 50,000 lives in China.
Right. Okay, so we got the same one.
But it's kind of funny also in the sense of we spent all this time. There's two sides of this. One side of it, we've been talking about the environment for so long and what we got to do something about it. And turns out we don't have to worry about the environment since we'll all be dead.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this virus is the environment just being like, yeah, we want you to go?
Yeah, it could be. Maybe this is actually this is the Green New Deal. It was like they were like, oh, for implementation, we're going to release a mass pandemic. We all have to stay home. You're right, though. Like, we're all going to be driving less, flying less. Factories are going to be shut. Like, the environment in the next year and a half, the environment will be like back to new, back to how it was in the beginning, like before man even got here.
Bri, what do you
got? That it's sort of shed some light on how big of a liar Trump really is. People are starting to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, before I thought he was really honest.
Well, people who were kind of buying into his bullshit are kind of just like, well, wait a minute, that's not really...
Yeah, I think some are, but I went to his Facebook page and it was still hundreds of like, he did everything he can and he's doing a great job and this is amazing.
Yeah, I kind of think there are a lot of people that are still buying into, they're like, he's... Yeah. Did you see the thing about the senators who sold their stock?
That's so fucking shady.
They were set on January, I think it was like 14th, early January. January 20th.
Can you imagine? Oh, go ahead.
Just to tell if anyone's listening.
Yeah.
They basically just to set the scene for this. They had a private meeting where they were told how dangerous this pandemic was, and instead of alerting the public, their move was to sell all their stock, hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock, because protect themselves, fuck the public.
Mm-hmm.
And then like two of them came out and were like, "Oh, it's a hoax. It's the Democrats just doing, trying to scare you and blah blah."
What was it? Richard Burr said he said like everything's fine, even though he was scared shitless and sold and like basically protect his own fortune.
Yeah.
And it turns out they said Burr was they tried to make this illegal, like the using inside information for the. I guess they had passed something called the whatever it was called. Basically, they wanted people in Congress not to be able to use inside information to sell stocks, and they passed this law. And he was one of the few people that voted against it because he said we don't need to do this. Like we don't need to because he was in favor of doing it in the first.
If you vote against something like that, shouldn't you be instantly investigated?
Yeah. Oh my God. I like. This is what we need Guantanamo for. Send the fuckers to Guantanamo.
Mm-hmm.
And the one woman who got it, that's the only transaction she made.
I mean,
the only time she's ever sold stock in the history of her portfolio.
If you were running for Congress against one of these people, my entire campaign would be he took the information, sold his stocks, and said, fuck you to America.
Yeah, why don't politicians like bring this stuff up?
Meanwhile, that chick from California had to resign because somebody leaked a picture of her tits. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
It's so fucking stupid. But could you imagine if this outbreak happened like during the impeachment trial? The
Onion actually had a good headline. They said Richard Burr wondering when profiting off mass suffering suddenly became a crime in this country. The Onion's really been hitting it out of the park.
Yeah, I
have to say, they had a great one also, which. Let me find the headline. It was basically like government. Let me find the headline for you. Well, I can't find it. It was basically like government says best case scenario for coronavirus is it kills off 8 million Iranians.
Yeah,
they go so dark, but it's really funny.
Yeah, I like the one where they said like Catholic Church said there's no way we're going to let the Boy Scouts out fuck our kids or something like that. All right,
okay,
number 2.
Okay, so next one, Jay.
This whole episode is just the top 5, by the way. No commute. You don't realize how long, if you live in the city, I guess if you're suburban, you drive 15 minutes, you're at work. If you're in the city, you don't realize how much time you spend commuting. I can now wake up an hour later than I normally do, exercise, and still be ready for work by 9. Like, it's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I put Ticketmaster will probably go out of business. fuck
Oh
Ticketmaster.
God, I hope so. Oh God.
God, I hope Ticketmaster goes out of business. I fucking hate them more. What an industry to start to fuck everyone over.
Yeah.
Hey, the tickets are $30. Not if we can step in and make them more money.
It's
I
literally
have this
almost
Facebook
double.
post that I keep typing up and then I keep deleting because it's never the right time. But I always it goes something like
You're one in favor of school shootings.
no. It basically goes like this. It says there's one thing that Trump can do, and only one thing that every single American would support, and he'd be the most popular president in the history of the world, and that is put Ticketmaster out of business.
It would be. I don't know what Ticketmaster is. They're selling tickets, I guess, for events that are down the road. But really, there are no more events. So
No.
Ticketmaster, you have nothing to do. You might as well just Ticketmaster. The Ticketmaster website should just be a game of solitaire. Also, apparently, someone else made a good point to me earlier today. You know what else is probably going to go out of business? Is WeWork.
What?
I don't even know
the
what that
company-
is.
What did you say?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, what is
WeWork.
that?
WeWork?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Have you not heard about WeWork? It was a
I know
company
they're
that
in
was-
financial trouble, but I don't know what they do.
Oh my god! I can't believe you guys haven't heard. It was in the news a ton. It was worth like $100 billion at one point.
Hmm.
What do you got? Oh, go ahead.
It's a company basically that basically they basically lease spaces and then subdivide the spaces.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
basi-
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like if you're a small business, instead of like you basically rent space from them and they try to make it like a hip, cool place. Like there's like a little bar on each floor. Supposed to be like a trendy place where you rent office space. But they're the biggest landholder the biggest leaseholder in New York City. I think in London. They're huge, and they tried to do an IPO, and everyone was like, their business is a fucking joke. I guess the guy who's running is a total asshole. And but now they have basically tons of these huge leases. All these companies are like, we're all work from home, so we don't need the space anymore, and they're probably going to go under majorly.
What else do you guys think is never going to come back after this? Like, if this thing drags on to like May or June,
They say this might drag on 18 months.
like, all right. So let's just say it goes to like the summer. Like, what do you guys think? Like,
What if it goes
like-
let's say it goes a year?
all right, say it goes a year. What do you think is like never like what industry or businesses do you think are just like are done? Like, we'll just never see them again.
Let's go around the mall.
Yeah,
gonna-
probably.
Well,
Malls are
the-
going
well-
out anyway.
I mean, like just department stores. All this shit is going to be like really depleted because everyone's going to adapt to not doing that anymore.
Movie theaters.
Yeah.
They're now
already-
releasing new releases for $20. Why would you pay $20 a pop when you could spend 20 for your whole family to see it on day one?
Yeah. Well, that's all they can do. What else is going
Yeah.
on?
I think like this might sound stupid. I think the bar industry is going to take a huge hit because I think like if you're cooped up for a few months, you're kind of going to realize like, why am I wasting my time and my money just like sitting at a bar drinking all the time? Like, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, I think
people are
it's-
going to just kind of grow out of that phase. Be like, that's stupid. What do I need to do that for?
Well,
So
I
I
think
would-
because of our idea from 10 years ago that's only now becoming popular, people are going to be like, yeah, I could sit at home and still drink with people, and it's a lot cheaper and it's still a lot of fun.
I'm going to argue. I'm going to make the opposite. I'm going to say when things start getting back to normal, the bar industry is one of the first industries to really come back because people want social interaction. People want to hang out with each other. They like the socialization factor and like it's harder to celebrate in your own apartment. You can go in a bar and celebrate and have a night out.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I think people are going to realize how much money they're saving by like not doing that stuff and just be like, why am I wasting? Like, especially if we get hit really hard and we like, lose money and stuff like that. People will be like, I don't need to like waste part of my income on that.
You mean I could
Yeah, I
spend
survived just fine without it.
right? I could spend $40 on a bottle, and I could get like 30 drinks from it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it changes, but like I feel like that in some form, like people really like that, and that's one of the things that's going to come back.
You-
Like that,
I guess it depends how long it goes.
I mean, people right now, the coronavirus exists right now. We're telling everyone stay the fuck home, and bars are still doing good business unless, like, basically we have to shut down. The government had to order to shut down of bars because people won't stop going to them.
Well, did you see that the city shut down all non-essential businesses, and they said liquor stores are essential?
Yeah,
They
people
shut
gotta
down liquor stores in Pennsylvania.
what do you don't think people need to they're all home? They need to fucking drink, Jay. This shit sucks. Let them drink.
You haven't seen my liquor cabinet. I have 30 bottles in my kitchen right now.
You know what Cuomo should do? Cuomo should say, "Fuck it, weed's legal too," because this sucks.
Yeah, why not? And while we're at it, let's do shrooms too.
Yeah, just I think you take shrooms and then you see what's going on with coronavirus, you will not come back from that trip.
Jay, you still doing the dosing?
I am not. The last time I had
No?
a bit of anxiety, so I don't know. I kind of got nervous about, is that going to be a thing now?
I just if I took shrooms and then I would immediately start thinking about the coronavirus, and that spiral would be so fucking bad. I feel like
If I did shrooms, I'd probably see the coronavirus on people. Be like, oh, stay away from him.
yeah, I just feel like it's not you want to do weed. At least it's not weed is a relaxing drug. You want to do a happier drug now.
No, it's a very happy one most of the time.
Shrooms?
Yeah.
But you can go to a dark hole there though.
You could, but it's a lot more rare than other psychedelics like acid or LSD.
I would agree not taking acid. I thought acid and LSD were the same thing.
I always thought they were too.
Jay, you're just using synonyms now on the show?
No, I thought acid was more
like Jay's you also you could do weed or grass or
marijuana.
Marijuana. You could smoke. You could do a anywhere.
THC.
Did you see Pete Davidson's stand-up? He was like, yeah, doing shrooms is like that part on the roller coaster when you're going up before you go down, and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. And then that's it the whole time. That's just shrooms. You never get to the other part of it.
I know I've done shrooms, had a great time, but I also had parts of this trip where I'm I remember one point where I was like, am I a bad person? Am I evil? I got stuck in this this mindset for a little while that I had I got out of. But
yeah.
I feel like you can get stuck in a mindset and have a bad trip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Weed, you really as long as you don't smoke too much weed, you're fine.
True.
Okay, let's
number 3.
Right, you have anything? Oh wait, do I even do my? Oh, I just
did one.
Okay, Jay, just go.
So pajamas all day. So now there's the during the day pajamas and the going to bed pajamas.
Yeah, I feel like I have to get dressed still.
No, I definitely don't.
Right, you get dressed? Are you gonna get dressed when you work from home?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. It's too depressing to be I'm not gonna get dressed like I'm going to the office. I'm just putting on shorts and a t-shirt or jeans and a t-shirt.
No, I change the top. I wear a t-shirt, but I'm pretty much in pajamas all day.
Okay. My next one is that so now if you do go for a walk, they say you're allowed to exercise because we're in a shutdown quarantine mode. But if you go for a walk, if you see someone you know that you do not like and they come up to you, just go, get away from me. I'm doing sodi. Sodi. I'm sodi. And they're like, what's that? I'll explain to you the word I'm making a thing out of. But you could basically just tell anyone to get the hell away from you.
Well, he's going to be like, Mark, I hate the way you say that, and then I'm going to not be near you anymore.
I'm going to be walking. Jay's going to come up to me and be like, Jay, you got to get away from me. Jay, get the fuck away from me. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you. Just get the fuck away from me. It's 6 miles. Get the fuck away. What do you got, Bri?
I like that we don't have to shake hands anymore.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You know, I made the mistake. I saw someone when I was still interacting with people, someone was talking to someone. I was I introduced myself and I went to shake their hand and they kind of held back and I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot this is now rude to do. It's a weird thing to now remember you're not supposed to shake people's hands.
I like it.
It's better.
It's definitely better.
Is it still though you don't shake but you do hug, right? And kiss and stuff?
That's how you're going to greet people now?
That's how I say goodbye to people. Just anyone.
Hey, it's Bob from work. Slip me the tongue.
Would that be weird if I did that?
A little bit.
A little bit. What else? What do you got, Brian?
Maybe for the 400th episode special.
Okay.
I just did one.
Okay. Jay, I got more. So, Jay, you got more?
Yeah. So exercise breaks is now a thing. Instead of being stuck at the office all day, do you guys remember Dance Dance Revolution?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, I have that.
Apparently, Jay thinks it's awesome.
It is awesome. I have that in my
I
apartment.
remember Jay talking that thing up to me for like a year, like when I didn't see him, and then I went to visit him and he was playing it, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like what?"
So Bri graduated early from college, and I had one more year left, and I got this apartment that was just stupid. It was like 8 bedrooms for 4 people, and so we each had a theme room, and I had a Dance Dance Revolution room, and that was when Bri saw it. Bri was not impressed at all.
No one is, Jay.
Anyway, well, I'm not going to a gym, so I get my cardio in now.
That's a plus. That's a plus of the coronavirus that all the gyms are closed.
I have to say though, getting exercise in the morning makes me feel a lot better. Like right before it, we got like a spin bike, and I've been doing the Peloton classes, and they actually like getting exercise really just make me feel better about being at home.
Right.
I mean, like it just if you're not gonna like get much exercise the rest of the day, it just makes you feel better getting some exercise in.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what's gonna be a thing now? You guys remember the Flowbee?
Oh yeah, because there's no barbers.
Yeah, you can't go to get your haircut anywhere. I just got a haircut before, like under the wire, and now all haircut places are closed. In a month and a half, 2 months, we're all gonna really need haircuts.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't have any hair left.
It's gonna be like the '60s here.
Jay, how often do you go to get your haircut?
I got one of those.
Jay's like 2007, Jay. I'm
No, I stopped a few months ago because I got this thing called the Pitbull, and it's kind of like it's like a handheld. It's got like 5 flexible razors on it, and I just kind of shave my head every few days.
Oh, you shave your head. You have it does, but it
does it make shitty music too?
Yeah. Can it cut your hair though? I mean, like, is it just shaving your head, or can you cut your hair? Can it replace my barber?
No, it's just a shaver. It's if you want full shave.
If we all, you know what? If we're all home for a year and we figure out this whole haircut thing, maybe barbers go out of business.
Could be.
I think casinos are going to take a big hit. I think because people are going to realize, like, again with the money, be like, holy shit, I have all this extra money that I didn't waste at the casino all the time.
Yeah.
When the casino in Connecticut, when they heard you weren't coming anymore, they declared bankruptcy.
Actually, Mohegan Sun was like the last one to close. Like they were almost like refusing to, and then the governor finally made them.
When's the last time you went?
I haven't been in quite a while. I think the last time I went was like in January.
Okay.
I was just getting ready to go too. I was supposed there's a couple of comics coming to the comedy club this month that I wanted to go see, and Andrew Santino was supposed to be there tonight. Actually,
I don't think I know him. Jay, you know him?
No,
he's the redheaded guy. He was on. Did you watch I'm Dying Up Here?
No.
He was in that. He's in a couple other things.
Yeah, there was a few bands that were coming around that I was really looking forward to. So
there's no way any of the bands you're thinking of, Jay, are ones that Brian and I have ever heard of.
Oh no, I'm not even going to name them because I know.
Tell us what weird fucking name. By the way, we still this show should be the coronavirus show, like the coronavirus podcast. That would take off, Jay. Can you change the name? But Jay, what are the bands? What weird bands are you listening to?
Supergrass.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I think.
Really, you guys have both heard of them?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what song they sing, but I've heard the name.
Wow. Yeah, no, they got back together after 10 years, and they were doing 3 shows in New York, and now they're not.
So Jay knows more facts about the band than their parents do. What are the other bands?
I don't even remember anymore. That was the one I was like the most amped for.
Okay, so my next one for things that benefit the coronavirus, the weirdest people in our society finally are basically role models. So if you're basically a hermit who never leaves their house, just spends all day watching Netflix or jerking off to porn, just doesn't leave their house, everyone's like, that guy's so weird. Now they're like, he's a role model. That's how you should live. He knows how he's an example for all of us.
You're all welcome.
And if you're some psycho who's been like an end of world survivalist, like stocking up all the like, I've got enough food for the next 6 months. Everyone's like, what a fucking loser. Now everyone's like, damn, Jim is smart. And if you're someone that like basically like some old people who was like sat on their porch and like, kids, stop playing out there. Go fuck home. Those crazy people are now doing society a favor by trying to get kids in homes so they don't spread the virus.
Mm-hmm.
And Lastly, if you're some losers who do a podcast via Skype that no one listens to for a fucking decade, now this is how you're supposed to communicate with your friends.
I still can't believe we've been doing this for 12 years and we haven't built a
Holy
following.
shit. So, what will end first? What will end first? The coronavirus or our show?
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
I
What
feel like
else
this
you
is
got
going to
done?
go on like, I don't know, way.
It'll be so great because it'll be like Jay will be like 65 years old, and someone will be like, "Hey, did you know Jay was doing a podcast for the last 40 years?" What?
Exactly.
And he still hasn't gotten tested for corona.
I want the show to go on for so long that it's hilarious at that point.
It really would be like we're getting to the point where like if you talk to someone that doesn't know you have a podcast, you do a podcast, and they're like, you're doing a podcast. Oh, how long have you been doing it for? 12 years. It's an embarrassment.
We're still trying to get our footing.
You must have a lot of listener.
We're still trying to find our groove.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Being able to vent my frustrations at work. So, like today, one of my bosses really pissed me off, and I got to just sit at my desk and curse for about 10 minutes. And normally I would just have to have that all pent up and turn into an anxiety attack. But at this point, I was just able to sit at my desk.
Instead, you did it over Zoom to him.
Fucking bitch! I fucking hate you so much. You're such an ass. And I was able to just curse and curse and curse, and then go back to work.
Totally normal. No problems whatsoever.
You don't have my manager. It's really bad.
Bri, did your list still going, Bri?
I think I ran out.
Okay. I have also what I have. Now, if you do run into strangers, which I guess is harder to do now, we're all quarantined. You have something to talk to every goddamn stranger about. Not just the weather. Now we can all talk about our mass panic over this insane pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a great anything you talk to anyone, you're like, "How you doing?" Times are kind of tough, and you just make some jokes. Like the whole pandemic is a great icebreaker.
I did at the grocery store the other day. I went down to one of the bread aisles and I said, "Was there a snowstorm coming?"
And someone else was probably like, "Yeah," and they got like a conversation with you about it.
Said a couple of strange looks.
By the way, I went to the supermarket this morning, and I was walking by this older fellow, and he coughed as I was walking by. And I'm like, "Fuck! I guess I've been tagged." I don't know. Like the guy coughed. I'm like, well, he just coughed once. Do I quarantine or just say fuck it at this point?
I mean, I don't know.
You didn't cough back at him?
I punched him. I beat him. I beat the living shit out of him.
Cough Wars 2020.
The supermarket basically, at least my experience is, it's pretty civil. Everyone's like, holy shit, where'd the toilet paper go? But everything else is pretty civil.
Yeah, I find it pretty civil too.
There's no yogurt, and I don't eat yogurt, but I went by I was walking through the dairy, and there was like a huge empty area, and I go, "What the hell is here?" And somebody said yogurt. I was like, "Why is all the yogurt gone?"
That's weird because I've gone a couple times, and the yogurt's generally been there. Actually, when I went this morning, there was toilet paper also. It was like not that much, and it was like, "See, please only take one." Okay, please take one.
Please take one.
That they had that sign up, and I took one.
When I went, the almond milk was gone, but the regular milk was there.
It's weird shit that's like taken and left.
Yeah.
The fruit, the produce, the fruits and vegetables look like everything's fine in society.
Yeah, exactly.
Healthy shit, totally fine. The snack aisle, holy shit, something's wrong.
Yeah, mac and cheese, gone.
Mac and cheese is gone. Apples, I guess everything's fine.
Yeah, the hot dog section was all picked through too.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are gone. Celery, wow, there's a lot of celery here.
A lot of kale left.
Do you have any more? I have a few more, or one or two more.
No, I just want to say I always have. I like if I have things laying around my apartment that I don't want anymore, I always throw it on eBay just to see if anybody buys it, and people always do. They buy anything, and so I didn't realize that I still had my stuff up, and there's a pandemic, and so now since everybody's home, people are now buying stuff. So somebody bought something today, and I had to run out to the post office, and I don't want to go outside, so it was a whole thing. I had to like get a face mask and like try and dodge people, and I came home and I sprayed my whole body in Lysol, and like so I pulled all my listings, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I also had there's finally a strong benefit to living in the buttfuck Iowa over New York City.
Oh, there always has been.
Really? I mean, well, whatever. But now you're like, oh, those people in Iowa are so much luckier than us.
Well, what I read is that the population of those areas skews older and less healthy, and the hospitals there are not very equipped because they don't have a lot of people going there. So if they do get hit, they're going to be fucked. Like they're not hit yet because they're going to be the last place to get hit. But if they do, it's going to be really bad. So
I thought of another plus. It got me out of going to 2 weddings.
Do you think? By the way,
it got me out of one too.
If there was if this like right now in New York City, Seattle was the epicenter for a little while, but New York City now New York is the epicenter of the United States of this virus. They say 40% of cases are in New York. If 40% of the cases were in Iowa, would anyone even be like caring about it?
Well, there'd be like 7 cases.
They'd be like, Iowa's in math. Like people it's awful in Iowa, and they're like, stock market's fine. Everyone's going to work. Should we do anything about it? Let's wait till it matters.
Right.
Oh, there was an earthquake in Utah. Like, holy shit! You're right. The Earth hates us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They apparently have that stream of tornadoes coming now. They really Earth really wants to get the fuck off.
I keep joking that like we need like a 2-foot blizzard now just to like totally.
It's snowing on Monday.
Yeah.
I feel like it was nudging us the last couple of years. Like, hey, this is kind of uncomfortable. Could you stop fucking with me? And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, that's it. You guys didn't take the hint. Fuck you guys. Yeah,
The Onion had that basically headline. They're like, Earth doesn't understand why you're not taking the fucking hit and doesn't want you here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I also, so I was thinking about some other things. So one thing that really annoys me now with the coronavirus, like one of the real downsides, is there's no more free samples.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst thing that's happened about this.
Yeah, I go to the grocery store. My grocery store used to have free samples. They don't want to give out free samples. It's like no one wants to take free samples anymore. I want my free samples.
Figures you'd bring up free samples.
Yeah.
I would love for my free samples. What? Like you don't? If you went to the supermarket and they had free samples, would you try one?
Right now? Hell no.
I think I would. Still.
Of course you would. Of course.
Something's wrong with me. My family should be scared of me. So my friend just texted me that he had a fight with his wife because basically this new thing is to have like a bar night with your neighbor. He lives in the suburbs, and so like you stand in front of your house and they stand in front of their house and you drink. But like his wife wanted to go on their lawn and their kids are running around not keeping the 6-foot rule, and he had a whole fight with her about it.
So it's like the show King of the Hill.
I know. I mean, I've seen the show, but
where
I don't know
they just stand outside and drink beers.
Yeah, I guess so. Basically, I guess that's the instead of a bar, you could stand in your house, your neighbor's lawn, and drink.
Yeah.
So, are you guys having, Brian? I guess you're going to the office because I mean, getting the bill is more important than not spreading the virus. But Jay, what are you doing now? How quarantined are you?
Well, now that I closed my eBay account, I am full quarantine. I am.
That was the last straw.
That was it.
What are you leaving the apartment for?
I'm not.
You're not leaving the apartment to go to get groceries?
No, I have enough groceries for a month. I have enough alcohol for like 2 months. I guess if I run out of laundry, I'm gonna have to run to the laundromat. But other than that,
will you take a walk?
No.
You won't take a walk now.
No,
Wow.
I live in Queens. Like nobody's listening. There's people everywhere. It's really bad. So
I mean, maybe do you think people will listen? So this rule goes into the don't leave your house goes into effect. I think as of Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why he's like, okay, get your weekend of partying in.
Yeah, everyone spread diseases for the next 3 days and then stop for reals.
So let's say people start taking it seriously. Will you then go for a walk?
I have DDR in my living room. That if I want exercise, I do that.
Oh, Dance Dance Revolution. Come on, Jay. I mean, I'm making Sodi a thing. Don't try to make DDR a thing also. We only have one thing for a show.
It's called DDR.
Oh, who the fuck calls it DDR?
Literally the people who make the games.
Okay, well, Sodi is much better. So would you go you can go outside, you're all Sodi, you're not staying more than 6 feet from anyone. Would you do it then?
If I lived in the suburbs, I would, but I don't, so I'm not.
Are you too concerned that people will like not respect your space?
Yes. I'm telling you, when I went to the post office today, there was people everywhere. It was like nothing was happening. It was ridiculous.
I saw a picture of the unemployment office. I forget where it was, but the people were just jam-packed in the unemployment office. Is that really the best thing? Like, everyone's unemployed, and you're going to make them get jam-packed, give them all coronavirus also?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't they have an app for that?
This is how we're solving unemployment, by just killing off the unemployed?
Probably.
Oh, by the way, they say actually one of the best ways to get a job right now is the actual unemployment office, because the unemployment office, because the unemployment was so low for so long, all those offices are understaffed.
Mm-hmm.
So like you go to the unemployment, you're like, I just lost my job. They're like, do you want to work right here? You want to give out benefits to the person behind you? Also, what are strip clubs doing? Like strippers and like that kind of sucks for them, right?
They were open. The ones in Vegas were still open from what I was reading, but I think they might be closed now.
Are they considered essential businesses?
I would think so.
I was thinking what's got to be killing it is like the cam girls. What are they called? Video cam girls?
Yeah, Chatterbait.
Yeah. Those girls have to be crushing it now.
They're raking it in.
You're stuck at home. You can't like if you're like, hey, I want to go out and get laid. Can't do that anymore. So like that's all you can do.
Those people aren't going to go back to work. They're making like full-time salaries now.
Though they are at work. First of all, that's what you should like. If I was a hot girl, that's what I'd go into right now. That's like a booming profession.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zoom. You made Chatterbait even easier. They've got to be killing it. There was a Doug Stanhope joke about the 2008 crisis. He's like, I feel bad for the girls, like the hookers, because like a woman doing anything else could be like, well, I can always go suck dick around the corner, but they're already on their last option.
Yeah, exactly.
And now every girl's getting unemployed. It's like going into their business.
I'll be back in 1 minute. Try not to talk about the Mets.
Right.
I'm going to talk about.
Right. Do you think there will be a baseball season?
I don't know.
I don't think it's happening.
If things get back to normal relatively soon, September is going to be like a crazy month because like everything's been rescheduled for September, like the Masters, the Kentucky Derby, like Coachella, Bonnaroo. You can have football, baseball, basketball. Like
so, basically, we'll be like we're all good, and then we're gonna spread it like the goddamn. We're gonna spread it all again with all these events.
It would be like one last hurrah, like before we all get killed or something.
They say one of the risks of basically they say it's going to be a wave where like it goes up, goes down, then we're all going to be like, oh cool, quarantine's over, and then it's going to go right back up.
Yeah.
Which is like unless they actually find a goddamn cure.
Can I ask a stupid question? Because I don't know the answer to this, and this is embarrassing. I should know. Like, what is the point of us? What?
There's no stupid questions, just stupid podcast hosts. Go on.
Oh, yeah. Like, what's the goal? What is the goal of everybody staying home for 3 weeks?
The major goal of this is to spread out the virus. So right now, right now the way the virus is multiplying, everyone's getting it. Yeah. The hospital system will be overwhelmed way too fast. So if you spread it out, first of all, if we all stay home, we spread it less. So like less people just get it entirely. But also, if you spread out the serious cases, then the hospital system can handle it. Right now, we're heading to a point very soon where our hospital system will just be overwhelmed. Like there'll just be too many patients. Like in Italy right now, they were just like, this guy lives, this guy does not live. We cannot treat everyone. We're basically just making a choice of who we treat and who we don't treat.
Okay, got it. But like, aren't we like if we have it and we're home for 3 weeks, we're still gonna have it though, aren't we? Like,
no. Well, the coronavirus is like you don't. It's like the flu. You have it for a little while and then it goes away. I don't think I mean I think they say you could be asymptomatic and spread it, or you could spread it before you show symptoms.
Oh.
But I don't think no one seems to think that you could spread it once you've already had it.
Oh, I see.
But there's also a theory that you might be able to get it a second time, which seems even more insane. But like in theory, if we all get it, we get immunity to it, and then like it'd be done. But like every year, there's a different strain of the flu. Maybe there'd be a different strain of this also. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
But yeah,
because I really didn't understand like the whole concept of like sending everybody home to have it and just be home with it.
Well, as a vital member of your office, you should explain to everyone if we need to they've been calling it flattening the curve.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. I don't know what that means.
Basically, they're trying to say like the higher the curve goes, the more likely our hospital system will be overwhelmed. We only have a certain number of hospital beds in our country, and we can only count for a certain number of patients, and we will blow past that if we don't slow down the virus. So if you slow it down, you have a better chance of defeating it, and so forth.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel stupid for not knowing that, but whatever.
I've been how much of your time do you think you spend like reading about these stories?
Me, very little.
That's so fucking healthy. I'm
completely disengaged and disinterested in the whole thing. Like I'm just waiting till I have it. Like
that's fucking wonderful because I spend so much of my day just thinking about this, reading stories about it. Like only thing I used to read about the Knicks, which is also misery, but I used to read about other things and just like more. Now all my non-work or playing with the kid energy is devoted to this, and just fucking brutal.
Yeah, same here. Even when I'm like, I eat dinner, I'm like watching the news, and I'm constantly refreshing that John Hopkins website that Peter sent us to last episode. And
the cases, I mean, like in New York now, there are over 7,000 cases in New York.
Yeah. It's also probably because you guys are in like ground zero for it too, compared to where I am. But
yeah, I mean, Jay, your girlfriend is a nurse, so I think.
Well, yeah, and that too, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, we're in ground zero for it. And like, it hits us a lot harder. I mean, not hits harder. I guess, like I guess you think about it more. You're going to the office. Like your life hasn't changed dramatically yet, or will. Like we can't go to the office anymore. Our kids' schools are closed, or like my kids' school, like shit. Like, and you keep like hearing more. I don't know. I've become way too obsessed with it.
Yeah. My life hasn't changed at all, and it probably won't because I'll probably still going to work every day.
Jay, are you excited? You can file your taxes 3 months later now.
Yeah, I got my refund, but I guess I have to pay later. It's like
I mean, if you owe money, you can pay it later.
That's the thing. I got a refund from the state, but federal I have to pay.
Oh, then you can wait to just pay the federal 3 months from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that like a thing now? And you're in the CPA world, we're like, oh, I want to hear about this federal tax policy.
I guess, yeah.
No, not exciting for CPAs.
Not really.
Yeah.
So we are out of time.
Fuck you.
I know. Well, it's your fault, really, when you think about it.
Probably most things are my fault when you think about it.
So go to facebook.com/Brink of Sanity. We're doing our top 64 tournament.
Oh, we didn't talk about any of that.
I know. We're in the middle of the first round. Let's do an episode in a couple of days because we got to do questions. We got to talk about the tournament.
Oh shit, we didn't even do the questions.
Yeah.
I assume your significant other has said, "Why the fuck are you still doing this podcast,
yes,
Jay?"
Yes, time is up.
Okay, that's totally fine. When do you guys want to do the next show?
Whenever.
Monday?
I mean, I'm not doing anything. I enjoy the show.
Okay, how about like Monday or Tuesday?
Sounds good.
All right.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So get your votes in. We're still doing that. We're up to the 20th matchup. There's still about 6 or 7 active ones, and I'm putting up 2 a day. So by next.
So what's our highest vote count for any of those?
13.
Well, that's pretty good.
I mean, Mark thought it was just going to be Lorenzo and Andrew voting back and forth. So
yeah.
No, I'm impressed.
So yeah, keep the votes coming. We're gonna have fun with this, and we'll talk about how we feel about the results. There's 1 or 2 where I'm a little upset already, but we'll talk about that next episode.
If we're not all in the hospital.
Yeah, what test results will be more shocking? Oh, sorry, what results will be more shocking? Jay's test results or the Jay? What do you of the 3 of us? Who's gonna get it first?
Well, I probably already have it. So the second place, I guess, would be Bry.
I'm convinced I have it or will get it. Just because like I haven't changed any of my like life's like plus I touch my face every like 3 seconds.
I mean, Mark, you're rich. How many times have you been tested already?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, they
Mark,
have
you
a
probably
spec-
already
they-
got the vaccine, right?
They have a special testing place right outside my house.
Mark?
Everyone in our neighborhood gets their own valet testing service.
Mark's not allowed to talk about the vaccine. We're normies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys
That's
didn't get
right.
the vaccine.
We didn't even get into conspiracy theories. We have to do that next one.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Shit, we have a
So,
lot of stuff to talk about.
yeah,
but
we'll
you guys don't get the vaccine. They mailed it to us. Like,
You got the early editions. All right, so we'll.
yeah. It's cool though. It's like we're all. You guys aren't going to the place. We have a new country that we're going to that doesn't have the shit. We're all going to come back when you guys are all gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rich person country that isn't on any maps. Anyway, we'll be back in a couple days, and we'll go over all the rest of the stuff that we didn't get to.
So much stuff.
Sounds good.
So thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
So long.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You cannot go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say.